My name is Earl W Taylor. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist for 25 years. I'm the author of the self-help book, Overcoming Yourself, a journey through achievement toward contentment. Welcome to Shupidstit. Let me introduce Mr. BRYAN BOGGS. How you doing today, partner?
Hey man, I'm alive, so it's beautiful. Gotta love the beauty in all things.
Gotta love it.
Hello world, my name is BRYAN BOGGS. I'm a retired naval officer after 25 years of faithful service. We're about to take you on a journey from a common result to an uncommon result, leading to an unbelievable reality. And we're gonna be traveling at the speed of now.
Let's do this
Right now.
Allow me to also introduce Mr. ANTOINE JARVIS. How you doing today?
Amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, life is good my way. My name is ANTOINE JARVIS. I've been in the trucking industry about the last 7 years. Started my trucking business with family and a few friends. With the emphasis and focus on serial entrepreneurship, and now a podcaster.
I dig it.
Yeah,
Podcaster, huh?
Yeah, podcaster.
Oh, that's a new word.
Yeah.
Podcaster.
I love it.
Yes, sir. Today's subject is achievement.
Achievement.
That's a broad subject.
Very.
Covers a lot of things.
Means a lot of different things.
And means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. But I'm gonna try to simplify it to start, and then we're gonna get busy getting deep into the subject matter. When I think of achievement, there's achievements outside of oneself. I think money had a little something to do with that. Then there's achievements inside of oneself. And then I like to somehow find a way to go beyond both of those. See what's on the other side of achievements inside of oneself and achievements outside of oneself. Mr. Boggs, what do you think about achievement?
Achievement to me is the accomplishment of an endeavor. I'm normally associated with positive endeavors, but sadly, it could be associated with negative endeavors too. But at the end of the day, it's really all about being able to execute something well and doing it to the best of your ability.
Okay. What
about you, brother?
I'm gonna piggyback off of that one because I believe it is an achievement. It's how I look at it is, or kind of when you talk about outside of yourself and then inside of yourself. I was always taught that your accomplishments helps lead to your confidence. So when it comes to your achievements, I feel, me personally, from my perspective, it's based off of somebody who is willing to go through that pain to achieve a desired result. That's how I look at achievement.
So then what might that desired result be? Why must we achieve? I think when I think of achievement, I think of one word: more. Why must we achieve more?
More.
Because the goal of achievement is more. Is that a fair statement?
Not to me.
Okay.
Because to me, an achievement to me is the accomplishment of something. So there doesn't necessarily have to be a more.
So once you get to something,
once you get to something, that's there. Now, if you want to continue to achieve or continue to have achievement, then you'll do more. But I think achievement in itself doesn't necessarily need to be more. It just needs to be that accomplishment of that initial task, endeavor, goal.
Well, in general, when you think of achievements, truly the word more is there. Because otherwise people would walk, they would crawl and say, I'm walking now. I'm finished. Which is not a bad ideal, but most people, when they're achieving, they're seeking to achieve more. More outside of themselves and more inside of themselves.
Dig it.
What would you think of that?
I can agree with that, because it's like to be successful, you know what I mean? You have to what did he say? It was a what was the brother's name? John
Jocko Willett.
Jocko Willie said it best, man. He said when we grow up, we don't have no role models or none of that type of stuff, nobody to follow, right? The best way to look at it, and this is all about perspective, the best way to look at it is, you got this book right here written by this author, and he wrote it specifically for you, right? So if we're talking about...
and that author could be me. For the record.
Because
we are talking about achievement. My book is a journey through achievement.
There you go.
Towards something else.
There you go. So that's why, again, when I think about that concept, and I appreciate you for sharing him with me, because now when I listen to anything that he presents, it's new for me. It's not what I'm used to hearing. Right. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm like, okay, well, can I take that and I like y'all already know how I do it. If I can take it and I can run with it, then I'm gonna use it. You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely something, and I'm glad you said that, because that's why I led to that, because you are an author as well, and utilizing that there is no need, again, my perspective only, there is no real need for you to not be successful or not achieve anything in life when you have books that you can read from somebody who's already achieved. If that makes sense.
Most certainly.
It does. I got a question.
Yes, sir.
So because I'm thinking about this more concept, because I think the more adds an S to achievement to make it achievements. But speaking it in the singular sense, why do you say it must have more in it?
I don't say it must have more. Generally speaking,
okay,
when you think of achievement, it has to do with becoming more, having more inside of yourself and outside of yourself. Now, let me go a step further. What if, I'm gonna ask this question. Would you achieve more if you were recognized the same as everyone else? This is going to bring up some awareness to this matter. Would you achieve more if you were recognized the same as everyone else?
I don't know what that means.
As everyone else. Like
Let me put it another
everybody.
way. Would you achieve more if there was no recognition in it?
Okay, there you go.
Oh, that's a good question.
Yes.
Me personally, if I think it's based off the person, because if a person's an overachiever, then yes, they're going to want to. Well, hold on, wait, because it depends. When did that take place? Were we all? Let's say, for example, use that example. Were we all born that way? Because if we're all born the same, there's no reward for achievement. Then it's not going to be in your mind to want to achieve more. Where now there's an award for your achievement. There's more money. There's more fame. You know what I'm saying? There's tangible things that you have access to that motivates you to. Somebody, Kevin Hart just sold 15% of his business for $100 million, and I'm sitting here thinking like, that's dope. You know what I mean? Like that's somebody who's in his mind.
Who is having more.
He's having more and focusing on getting more, because at the end of the day, his legacy is now going to be taken care of for 10 generations deep. Because of the moves he's making now.
So, but from my perspective, this is the reason why I say I would. It's because, when you think about tangible things, makes sense what you're saying. But me, myself, I'm always about growth, my own individual, internal growth as a person and mentally. So with that, I'm always trying to achieve more. I'm trying to achieve more understanding. I'm trying to achieve more empathy. I'm trying to learn how to be more empathetic, how to be more sympathetic. I'm always trying to be a better human being than I was previously. So even if nobody recognizes me for doing anything, I myself want to be more than I was the day before.
Clearly, he's talking about what I would consider the second part of achievement. But before we go there, the first part has to do with something outside of you. The second part has to do with something inside.
We're speaking on achievement. Achievement is achievement. So
let me finish. I describe what you're talking about is the second part of achievement. That's just what I call it.
I understand.
It's just my personal
Right.
designation.
It's yours.
Right.
Right.
And my designation was just as
It's
I
what you said.
So
allow me to
say
allow me
that
to continue.
I'm saying something when that's not what I'm saying. I'm telling you what I'm saying. I said it.
Let me continue, please, sir. So what I've tried to establish so far is that achievement is outside of you. There's achievements inside of you, and it's tied to more. One of the things that are tied to achievement, generally speaking, is more and recognition. Is that a fair observation? Generally speaking, Mr. Jarvis?
If we're speaking generally, yes.
The average
I would
person
say so.
wants to be recognized and they want more. And clearly, he states, I don't need that for all the right reasons. I'm going to reference this movie to make my point, and then I'm going to maybe to be clear for you. Groundhog's Day. Anybody seen that movie? It's about a man who was stuck in the exact same day. The next day was the exact same as that first day. He was in now. He stayed in now.
Right.
His first achievement, he wanted all the money. He went out there, and in that day, he knew where all the money was. He robbed the bank. He got all the money. Bang. Then he said, you know what? I want all the girls. He was a guy. He went and got all the girls in that day. He had all the money and all the girls. And then he realized something. What's left? In his pea brain, nothing. So then he went out to that day and tried to kill himself. Real movie, but at the point I'm making from that movie. Once he realized he could not kill himself, he was going to be still alive after he got all that money and all those things outside of him, he then began to work on things inside of him. He went inside. I think he became a pianist, a musician. He sculpted some artwork. He just became creative. He started helping people that were going to die, and he evolved on the inside, and that's what you're talking about. When the achievements outside of yourself require recognition from others.
Right.
Fair observation.
Fair observation.
Achievements inside of yourself are secondary. Most people don't get to that part until they've spent some time, in my case, wasted some time trying to achieve things outside of themselves. Fair observation.
I'm a firm believer that if you spend your life trying to impress others, you will always be unfulfilled. At the end of the day, you should, because the only person you can change and improve is yourself. So if you continue to try to work on yourself and achieve,
you would agree.
right, you can inspire, but you cannot physically
And in
change
some sense,
other people.
by inspiring others, you indirectly help them get better.
Right, but you can't directly help them
That's
get better. The
correct.
only
You plant a
person,
seed.
the only person you can
That's
directly
correct.
impact is yourself.
Absolutely.
And I believe that if you work to be better, if you continue to achieve as a person, that even though you won't get recognition, people around you will see it and end up becoming contagious. That's what I think.
But a lot of folks do it for the recognition. On a deeper level, they haven't even thought about it.
Right.
That's why they're doing it. Because, for example, I think Kanye went and made sure that he was a billionaire. He called him up, hey, man, I'm a billionaire. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a billionaire. Recognize that. You better recognize. So recognition is an important part of the early stages of achievement. And that's the point I'm making and nothing more. How would you?
Early stages of mental development. I mean, because I think when you get to a certain level of maturity, you don't desire the outside. We see you as much as you did when you were younger.
Absolutely.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Or immature. Some children die of old age. Some people
do.
Always are being
Some
recognized.
people do. So that's why I say, and to piggyback on what I was saying earlier about Jocko. And when I was talking about the concept of what he's presenting, and I can only speak for myself. The more I listen to any self-help, anything, the more I want more of it, because I want more in the realm of whatever I'm doing in life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? My finances, I want more of that. Not because I need it, because obviously my bills need it. You know what I mean? My legacy needs it. I want to be able to sacrifice myself. I want to be able to sacrifice me doing certain things now, so that way my legacy, 5, 6, 7, 10 generations down will be good. Somebody's going to hang up a picture of me above their mantle, on their mantle, above their fireplace. That's great great grandfather right here. He's the reason why we have X, Y, Z.
Does that matter to you?
It does matter to
That's
me.
your recognition right there.
So
It
do
does
you want
matter to
recognition?
me. I want recognition
What we
from my
understand-
family.
If people
got you.
look deeply,
You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
some form of recognition is tied to
I think
achievement.
everybody, and I think like you were saying.
He'll catch on to everybody. He don't like that word.
Well, no,
Don't even try it.
Well, no,
Don't even try
because he was saying
I've been doing
recognition.
this for long enough to know.
But no, he was saying recognition, right? But I think his recognition is now
We
internal.
already know. See,
Like you said, second stage of it, but
he's still,
it's internal now.
even see, the key is recognition is an essential element tied to achievement. There's other things other than achievement. We're gonna talk about those.
Right.
So
So,
we're
yeah,
talking about
make sure you
achievement
put
now.
disclaimers.
on achievement, so like, now don't get me wrong, for the things outside of myself, when I'm achieving, of course I want recognition. But for the things that matter more to me than those external factors, the intangible things, the things you can't measure on a scale or anything, I don't need other people's approval, recognition, because I
At this point
am
in my life,
happy
at this
with
point
who I'm
in my life,
becoming.
that's all you said, and that's an achievement.
Right.
Yeah, we're talking achievements,
Right.
But that's an external. And see, now he's on to the internal achievements. He's on the inside of the achievement game. So, in summary, achievement is outside of us, inside of us,
True.
and it's tied to more, like it or not. That and I'm gonna put something in this. Your mind is set. You didn't do this to yourself. But we'll continue. I'll refresh that later. You want more because you didn't do this to yourself. That's 21st century achievement. There are going to be some 31st century achievement. I suspect it's going to look definitely different than what we see today. And last but not least, achievement is tied to recognition. Next thing, how important is money in achievement?
It depends on what stage of life you are at. Because I think money is as important
Let's talk
as you
about an
say it is.
example of an achievement where money is not needed.
I mean,
Personal development.
yeah.
I don't need money to better myself.
I think you was constantly talking about those books you read, and they
Correct.
drop them off at your house. They don't charge you nothing, just to be sure.
Okay, if you mean okay.
I mean, but you don't. But you get
but I
personal
don't-
development without books. You know what I'm saying? Just by acts that you do yourself, working on that. So I think that personal development doesn't necessarily have to come from money. You can spend money or you cannot spend money. I would say probably most people spend money.
In general,
I'm gonna spend money.
money is tied to achievement.
In some form of fashion, it is.
We looking at all these components of money, of achievement, and we just taking a look at them. They there, like it or not, they're not going.
You know
anywhere.
what? That's a very I can
Get
can
behind
follow
that.
that because generally speaking,
Yeah. Nothing is 100%.
Of course.
Because you're going to
Correct.
rise above it.
Right.
And
Correct.
that's the goal
Correct.
of this discussion.
Correct.
generally
We're going to get to some
speaking,
Shupidstit.
whenever you're achieving, you're normally adding something. And whenever you're adding something, there's normally expenditure for that addition of an asset.
Mm-hmm.
So
So all we've discussed so far can be described in this one word. Content. Content means more. I want more content. The content of something is what it entails. And an achievement, content, more content, more.
right, but I wouldn't say content means more because you're using more with content. So
Because I like to play with words. Allow me to play with some words here.
Right.
I'm a rhetoric artist.
I know.
But I see what you're saying.
I'm just a highlighter. You know what I'm saying? I just got my highlighter. I'm just highlighting stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me highlight.
You do what you do. I'm gonna do what I do.
That's a good way of putting it.
At some point in the achievement game, we gotta say this: enough is enough. Otherwise, you will participate in what I call the rat race. The problem with the rat race, even if you win, you're still a rat. At some point, opportunity, as you take advantage of opportunity, you got to stop opportunity from taking advantage of you. As you constantly seek to acquire money, you got to stop money from acquiring you. And that's the point of enough. And now we go from content to content. I have enough. Until you get to this place in my pea brain, you haven't achieved nothing but struggle. What do you think on that, Mr. Antoine? Until you get to this place of enough,
that's a hard one.
you have not achieved anything but struggle. To be specific, 21st century. 21st century is a struggle. But it ain't for all of us. Remember, like the word all of us. Some of us manage to say these words. Enough is enough.
But how though? Because if I could see somebody else do it, right? If I could see somebody else do it, in my mind, right? In my understanding of things, if somebody else can do it, I can do it, right? And I understand that they went through some things to get to that way of thinking. Mm-hmm. I understand that. I understand I got to go through some pain as well. I
think I can answer that question.
You see what I'm saying? So in my mind, I'm thinking, well, shoot, if I want to get to a certain point in life, then I got to do some things I've never done before to get
That's
there.
a fact.
You understand what I'm saying?
To get a different outcome, you got to do something different.
Right, because if I keep doing the same thing, expecting different results, that's definition of insanity. So how in my mind can I tell myself enough is enough? Like, is there a number that's enough? Is there a way of life that's enough?
Hold on, before you go, I want to hop in here on that. So, I dig the content and saying that there's enough. In my mind, there's never enough, and I'm saying this from a biological perspective. Because the body always wants more air. It always wants more water. It always wants more food. That's going to always be an expenditure. So you're never, ever in a place of total contentment. You can never say that's enough, because the struggle of life that we all must deal with requires more.
Good point. Once your basic needs are met, good point, sir. You've been accepted by society. You're an acceptable individual. Why do you still want more?
I don't want to be acceptable. I don't even care to be accepted by society.
Well, self-esteem, most people on a subconscious level are acceptable, and they intended on being that. But the point I'm making is humans want more. Mm-hmm. And that wanting of more produces struggle. Either you get to a place or you don't. Some people struggle their entire lives. In fact, they die with net worths of $20 billion. I call this struggle. Some people call it achievement. And some people never are recognized enough. They just keep on wanting more. Sir, interject.
So yeah. So on that,
I know he's burning.
On that piece. I got to add something to that. So, in my mind, in this human existence, you have to always want more. The struggle.
More specifically.
Hold on. Let me finish. You got to let me finish my thought before you make an assessment of my thought. So. Life is a journey, not a destination. Life is a struggle, because the moment you stop struggling is the moment you die. Like, the moment that you say, okay, I had enough, and you stop moving is the moment your body starts wasting away. The only way muscles get stronger is by struggle. The only way the processes in the body get stronger is by struggle. If you don't have struggle, as Frederick Douglass said, there is no progress without struggle, or he said, or without progress, there's no, or whatever. But basically, in order to have progress, in order to continue to move forward, there must be struggle.
And let me tell you where that struggle I'm going to take you up the road a little further. You're right. You're going to struggle and you're going to struggle. And then eventually you're going to recognize something as powerful as gratitude. Once you arrive at that place, you ask me a question. How can I stop this struggle? Well, you can stop this struggle the moment you are grateful. Gratitude says, I have enough. And it's okay. And I'm okay. Until you achieve more of gratitude, not stuff things and lesser things, until you achieve that, you are struggling. Period. So, which leads me to the last thing, a journey through achievement toward contentment. There is no contentment without gratitude. And if you don't have gratitude, you are struggling. Period.
And gratitude is a practice, which means you must continue to do it, which is achievement in itself.
Remember, we went toward contentment, and now I'm showing you precisely how to be content. There's somebody out there right now praying and hoping to be you. You praying and hoping to be more. The moment, the second, now, you say enough. Now, the American culture is a young culture.
That's a fact.
There's other cultures go straight to enough. We call these people monks. We got other names for them. There's a monk out there, someone will bypass all this struggle. I'm going straight to enough. And I'm going to drown in gratitude. There are alternatives to our way of thinking and our presets and our mindsets.
That's the external aspect of achievement.
No. External is stuff and things. Internal is kindness, gentleness.
But the thing is,
eventually,
if you continue,
gratitude.
If in order to be gracious, to be appreciative of what you have, what you've been blessed with, your health, all those things, that is a recognition of what you have and being happy with that. And there's nothing wrong with being happy at all. But the reason why I say that it's still achievement, because it is something that has to be practiced. Because if you do not continue to do it, you will start to not be gracious. You will start to not have gratitude. And then it's a different struggle. I believe, I'm not a monk, never lived with monks, but I believe that monks, from what I understand, is they're always meditating. They're always doing things to work on their internal self, but they're always achieving a greater state of inner peace. They're always struggling to be better. They're always working to be better. So they're content with their external things, but they're always working on their internal things.
So I'm glad you've come along and recognize that always wanting more, there's an alternative to that. There's an alternative to that. And gratitude is that alternative. Would you not agree, sir?
Gratitude and
like you want more gratitude, like
right?
That's more in itself.
Me personally,
gratitude.
It doesn't change the fact that we're going to want more and more and more, no matter what it is.
Exactly.
In my head.
If all you want is more gratitude, you're going to come across what I call the perfect attitude. To be grateful 24 hours a day is the highest state of existence. So you keep wanting more gratitude, you may get 23 hours and 15 seconds. You'll be at the highest state of human existence. Would you not agree, Mr. Jarvis?
Hell yeah,
absolutely. But that's
the goal.
Yeah. But
that's your Shupidstit
That's
moment.
achievement.
But it's
subject matter is
achieving gratitude.
Yeah, it's a journey you got to get to that
point. It's achievement.
Facts.
And I've taken you further than 21st century has taken you. You no longer focus on more and bigger for self-esteem purposes. You are now focused on something that will lead to happiness, that vague thing that people think they can buy.
You can't buy it.
You are as happy
Facts.
as you set your mind.
I was going to ask you that.
And when you set your mind on gratitude, you find the quickest way to get there.
Do you think being happy is a decision? Or a
Happiness
result
is a
of
choice,
processes?
happiness is a choice, simply stated.
I agree 100% with that one.
He says a choice?
It is. Happiness
Simply
is a
stated.
choice.
Yeah.
Happiness is a choice.
Because it's what you choose to decide to put your energy. It's going to determine if you're happy or not.
Gentlemen, as we talked about achievement,
Mm-hmm.
have we journeyed past mundane things, past things outside of us? Have we went inside of us and started practicing kindness and things that money can't buy? And have we finally decided that the best we can do with our life is to be grateful? And if so, we can shut this thing down. If not, we can talk some more. The goal of achievement is gratitude. Period.
Even though getting the gratitude is still achievement.
That's the goal of achievement. You
I
said
know.
the same thing.
I know. I just like saying it my way.
I like it. Say it your way. Have it your way.
Say it again.
I like saying it my
Say it your
way.
way, brother. Say it again. Say it. Just say it. Just say it and do it. And keep doing it.
And keep doing
That's
it.
Now,
Now that's the key right there. Keep doing it. Don't think you can do it one day and say, hey, I reached there and I'm done. It's a struggle to continue to do it. Even when you in moments or when you think that are not your best, have gratitude for what you got. Because it can always be worse.
so I'd like to introduce a Shupidstit moment. The perfect attitude is to be grateful. 24 hours a day. Focus on this and achieve happiness. Period. That's my new word. Period.
You love your
I like to put periods on stuff, but I don't shut up. I keep talking. But I slow down a little bit.
It's really a comma.
Hey, it's a comma.
I'm gonna say
Comma.
It's really a comma.
Or semicolon.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. Not
I'll
really a
change it
period.
later. I'll change
It's a
it
comma.
later. I'll change it later. So if you're going to talk about achievement and you exclude gratitude, you ain't talking about achievement. You're talking about presets. You talk about what the 21st century told you to do. And that ain't enough. Because
Talking
the
about other
31st century
people's-
going to improve on it. And you're going to be left with something other than Shupidstit. We know what that is.
Absolutely.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But like you said, it's addressing those presets. Most people don't even know that they have presets.
That's it. 21st
You see
century
what
is
I'm
a
saying?
bundle of presets.
It's a bundle
about
of them.
achievement, for recognition of stuff. Let's get this clear. We've been talking about how poor is a problem. Why does this guy have a 20,000 square foot house? He rides with 20 elevators and a mall worth of cars and riding a limo all the time. That's what'll happen if you don't release those presets. There's another guy say, you know what? What's all this fuss about achievement when I could just be happy? He must be from the 31st century. And I recommend we hurry up and get there, but we can't. We got to go through what is to get to what will be. But if I'm going to talk about achievement, it will be wrong for me not to mention what I have done. And on that note, gentlemen, I'm going to leave the last word to you guys.
Man, I just wanted to say, and I'm glad we touched on that real quick, but focus on those presets. Figure out what those presets are that you have going on in you, because a lot of those times, that's what's holding you back from the next level. That's what's holding you back from the fact that you don't identify them or even acknowledge that they exist will hold you back from the next level of growth that you want to obtain, but you can't access it because you don't even think that it exists. So I think that if you can focus on seeing what it is in your life, like you said before, the idea of having, a caveman way of thinking in the 21st century is so profound, because it's like most people don't understand. They're not really making their own choices. Right. You know what I'm saying? And if you realize that somebody else is making the choice for them, like you guys said before on several other podcasts, if you don't make the choice, somebody's going to make that choice for you. Right. And if you get to the habit of making the choice of understanding what's stopping you from growing, what's preventing you from that next phase of your life, which is, I believe, is your next realm of maturity, if you will, then you'll never be able to get to what you said, that thinking process of focusing on gratitude, at least, even if you can do 5, 10, 15 minutes a day of gratitude, eventually that's going to work you up to an hour, and from an hour to 5 to 10, and go from there until you can reach the Buddhist-like way of thinking, which is, ultimate gratitude for everything in existence. In my humble opinion.
Absolutely. And I like to piggyback on that. And I'm gonna use it in the frame of achievement. Is I think that the next achievement as people, what we should go to, for those that haven't done it yet, is to start looking at what they value, the things in their value system, and challenging. Look at it and see, do I need this? Does this bring me value, or is this bringing somebody else value? And if it's not bringing you value, take it out and put something in there that does bring you value. Because once you achieve that, you can get the gratitude.
Well, gentlemen, I am grateful for this podcast. I'm grateful for each and every one of you and everyone. My book is called Overcoming Yourself, a journey through achievement toward contentment. Thank you for this opportunity to speak about achievement and suggest what that contentment is. On that note, let us increase the Shupidstit and let us decrease the stupid shit.
Solid.
Yes, sir.
Facts. Absolutely.
Let's do this. Done. Finished.
Time.
All right, gentlemen.
I thought that was good.
I thought so too.